Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rock the Stadium Design Slam by Z by HP. Let me introduce your host for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Matt Bell.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Rock the Stadium Design Slam. So I'm going to be your host for this evening, and what an evening we have ahead of us. We have 90 minutes where we're actually going to be having 3 individual design slams. The first design slam is going to be the Dynamo design slam, then we're going to have an Autocad and Infraworks design slam, and finally we're going to have a Fusion 360 design slam. So, each design slam will be 20 minutes, and at the end of the 20 minutes, the teams and competitors will have 1 minute to explain to you their design. But after that, that is where you all come in. Because ultimately, we're doing design slams around stadiums. So a stadium not only has the players, which are behind me here, but it has the crowd. So you guys are going to be the crowd for this evening. And what do crowds do? Crowds make noise. So the way we're going to be voting on each of these design slams is just that. You guys are going to be making as much noise as possible for the design that you want to win. At the end of that, we'll then be giving across the prizes for each of the design slams. So I think we need to have a bit of a practice to make sure everyone's warmed up. I know we've had a busy day, so after 3, we're going to make as much noise as possible. 1, 2, 3... More! Okay, almost there. One more time after 3. 1, 2, 3! Woo! That's right, and don't worry, you can make as much noise during the design slams as possible as well. Now, before we start, we want to make a big thank you to our sponsors, Z by HP. Thank you ever so much, Z by HP. This is getting to be a tradition for HP. HP sponsored the Design Slam last year, the Mars Design Slam, and subsequently, they had nearly 90,000 entries into the HP Mars Home Planets competition. So fantastic results, everybody. And then the outcomes from that competition actually were then used to create the 14-minute VR experience, which is in the hallway. So if you get an opportunity to go and have a go on it, please do so. You will see how HP, NVIDIA, and Autodesk were able to recreate life on Mars. But that's enough of me talking about their technology. Let's have a look at some of it.
To create a space that never existed is what interests me. To create something that has never been.
Now, how cool is that? However, what's even cooler is the fact that each winner of our design slams this evening is going to walk away with their very own brand new Z by HP mini workstation. So thank you ever so much, Z by HP, for supporting this again. And don't forget to go and pay a visit to the HP booth where you can take a look at the Z by HP as well as all the additional technology they have on display. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our first design slam. This is the Dynamo design slam. And my host for this design slam, coming to the stage, is Marcelo.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Oh, excellent. I'm going to be your MC for the Dynamo portion. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We have 3 excellent contestants. I'm going to announce each one, and they'll sit down, and then we have a special word from someone. So why don't we start our introductions? The first one is... Okay, there we go. Okay, we have Achintya. She's from Stantec, and her favorite team is the Bangalore Royal Challengers. Okay, why don't you take... All right, excellent. Why don't you take your seat? Next, we have Pardis. She's from Woods Bagot, and her favorite team is the Golden State Warriors. Excellent, excellent. And finally, we have Kaylee from Burl Happel Global. Her favorite team is the New York Rangers. Thank you, thank you. And if you haven't known, my favorite team is the LA Dodgers. Oh. All right, so as you all heard, they're going to be designing a stadium up here, and there's a stadium out in Perth, and the company Hassel was very, very generous to give us a starting point and a template to work with. So I'd like to introduce Michael from Hassel. He's going to give us a few minutes of his time to talk about the stadium in Perth. Why don't you, here we go.
Hi, I'm Michael Röhr. I work for Hassel, international design-led architectural company. We just started an office in San Francisco, so you will hear more of us. That project is a fantastic project, fantastic location. We threw a kitchen sink of technology at it. I won't bore you with that. We are in the expo. If you come over, happy to talk to you. Shop. One exceptional thing that is on this project is we had a joint venture in the design team. It was Hassel, HKS, Cox Architecture. 3 architectural firms that generally compete with each other, working together, one room, one team. 3 teams here. You can imagine creative tension, working for the best outcome. So I hope you all enjoy and we have the best outcome win. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Michael, thank you. All right, is everyone ready to get started? All right, we're gonna have to cheer these gals on. Okay, ready for the timer? Is everyone set? We told them they can't touch their computers until that timer starts. All right, ready in the back? Okay, let's count it down. 3, 2, 1, begin. Cheer them on, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, all right. All right, Kaylee told me she's gonna be using Dynamo with Revit. She's an MEP expert, so we're gonna see how that goes. All right, and Pardis told me that she's a generative design expert. She's gonna be using Dynamo and Fractal. And then Achintya told me that she's a Dynamo expert, design script expert. She's going to be using just Dynamo, so it's interesting. We're going to see what happens. All right, let's get going. All right, I'll call it play-by-play. How many Dynamo fans do we have out there? All right, excellent, excellent. All right, Achintya, what do you got going on? What do you got going on?
I have the boundary first because that is what is important. Now I'm going to do the pitch for the cricket pitch. So I'm designing the cricket stadium.
Oh, did you hear that? Cricket. She's designing a cricket stadium. Any cricket fans out there? All right, cricket. Very good. Looks like we got an ellipse node over here. All right. We're working in the metric template there. Ooh. Just checking with Pardis. Pardis, what are you working on?
I'm doing a sweep to just do the seats right now around the field.
All right, she's doing some sweeps. All right, looks like she might be working on some sight lines. Let's check in with Kaylee. Okay, Kaylee, what are you doing?
The initial run around the pitch.
Okay, initial run around the pitch. Oh, interesting. Okay, very good. We'll see what stadium you're designing. Excellent. Does anybody have any questions for the attendees? We got someone roaming around. Any questions?
Any questions at any time? I'm going to be walking around with this microphone, so please, please, please grab me and ask what any questions you want, and Marcelo will get the answers on stage.
Okay, looks like we got some sliders and we got some design script. Kaylee, are you a Python expert?
Not an expert, but pretty good.
Any Python experts out there in the crowd? Python? Give me a woohoo Python.
We've got some Python experts here. Hi guys, introduce yourselves.
I am Ben Campbell.
And Ben, is this your first time at AU?
Yes, it is.
And how is the experience going?
It has been insane.
Fantastic. And what do you use Python for?
I've done stuff with stock tracking and making market predictions and stuff like that.
Okay, pretty cool. Okay, thanks, Ben.
All right, thank you.
John, you asked a question.
Ooh. Very good. Looks like Pardee's already working on her trusses. Oh, no. Excellent. Lots of structure there.
5 minutes.
Are you a structural specialist, Pardees?
No, I'm an architect.
But aren't architects structural experts?
Maybe.
Right, very good. I hope all you architects are modeling structure. Okay, we did Python. Any C# experts out there? Matt, can you pick that one up? Can we find someone with C# expertise?
Anybody got to admit to it? Anybody admit to being a C# expert? C flat?
Okay. Very good. All right, there we go. Oh, it looks like,
Could be hard work.
Achintya, it looks like you have some custom nodes. Is that correct?
Yeah. I made some custom nodes in order to calculate the C value, which determines how good the sight lines are. So in order to do like a looping thing, I just made a custom node.
Okay, so you made a custom node. All right. Basically, a custom node here is a cluster of out-of-the-box nodes that you put together to make it a little bit easier. All right, very good. We got seating bowl and sight lines. Excellent. Okay, let's check. Kaylee, that looks like a Quidditch stadium. Well, what's a Quidditch stadium?
From Harry Potter, obviously.
All right. Any Harry Potter fans out there? Ooh, all right. Hope you get the hoops in there. Okay, the timer. We are 14 minutes, 28 seconds left. Okay, very good.
Marcelo, I have someone else that wants to answer a few questions for us.
Okay, very
Brian,
good.
how you doing?
Good.
Good. And Brian, this isn't your first time at AU, is it?
It is not.
Okay, you were here last year as well?
Yes.
Fantastic. So, what is your kind of favorite stadium design?
I'm liking everything that's going on. The center one with this cool ellipse form and all the structural stuff going on is way cool. And we see the one on the left here popping up some good stuff too. All the scripting stuff. This is awesome.
And what is your favorite team? What is your favorite team? Baseball, American football?
The Chicago Cubs.
Chicago Cubs.
All right, very good. Thank you, Matt. Very good. Pardees, have you pushed this yet to Fractal?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, Fractal's the icing on the cake. All right, very good. Let's check in with. Let's check with Cynthia. What does this custom node do here?
It's adding the gangways, which are the exits, making sure that the rule is to have a maximum of 25 to 28 seats per each exit. So it's trying to make sure that it meets those requirements. So that's what it's trying to do, and adding all the aisles.
Holy smokes, that's pretty micro. Very good, thank you.
Now, Marcelo,
Yes,
obviously you are an expert in Dynamo.
Yes, I'd say so.
A real expert. I've been told the expert. Now, I have no idea about Dynamo whatsoever. So can you just explain to everybody out here who maybe doesn't as well what Dynamo is?
Absolutely, I'll tell what everyone is. Dynamo is a visual programming language, basically, that has the ability to create its own parametric geometry, like you can see in the background. But it also has the ability to talk to other databases. So, for example, Kaylee over there is going to be talking with Revit shortly, and then Pardis is going to be talking with Fractal. So in a nutshell, Dynamo is a visual programming language that makes its own parametric geometry that talks to other databases. It's super awesome and amazing.
Thanks, Marcelo. Every day is a school day.
All right, very good. Okay, it looks like we're logging into Fractal now. All right, we're going to check in with Pardis. Pardis, what version of Dynamo are you using?
We're all using 1.3.2.
You're using 1.3.2, is that correct? Okay, very good. Now, just for all the audience, if you don't know, there are actually 3 versions of Dynamo. Did anyone know that? 3 versions of Dynamo. All right, very good. Anyone know what they are? Maybe you can get an answer out there, Matt, if someone can get them. You there, Matt? Can we have someone know what the 3 versions of Dynamo are? All right, very good. I see Fractal here. Excellent. If no one knows, Fractal is a generative design process which can run through many iterations of the design. So it looks like that's what Pardis is doing right now. We'll see what shakes out of that. Oh, look at this. It looks like Kaylee's already popped into Revit. She's already creating the Quidditch hoops. Check this out. Looks like she might build that and bring it over into Dynamo. Did I get that right, Kaylee? Oh, yeah. We're going to see how that pops over. Excellent. Very good. Very good.
Marcelo, we've got our very own Steve Merchant over here, who's going to let us know a little bit about his favorite design. So, Steve, firstly, what's your favorite team?
Definitely the Dodgers.
The Dodgers?
Yeah.
So you're English. Come on.
Well, I've been to see the Dodgers, so that's why I've personally gone for the LA Dodgers, purely based on my limited knowledge of baseball.
Okay. And how about the designs on the screen here? Which one's standing out for you?
I'm liking this one here, the use of Dynamo, the first sketch
Daily.
where what they're trying to do there, I really like that one. Fantastic.
Cool. Thanks, Steve.
No problem.
All right, contestants, we are at the 10-minute mark. We are at the halfway mark. Audience, why don't we cheer them on at the halfway mark? Let's give them a good hand clap. Cheer them on. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Woo, you all should be halfway through now, I hope. All right, it looks like Kaylee also brought her company template with her. Did you get permission to do that? Maybe. Okay, we're gonna have to check with him on that one. No, we're just kidding. It's all good. All right, very good. So we see Revit here on the right. Okay, Parody, we are interested to see what kind of design iterations you come up with. Were you able to get attached to Fractal, Pardis?
If everybody gets out of Wi-Fi so I can push my file to Fractal, that would be great. Thanks.
So you're saying, okay, so Fractal actually works in the cloud. You're saying you're having trouble connecting at the moment? Okay, so everyone turn off their Wi-Fi. Is that what you're saying? Okay. All right, we'll see how that one shakes out. Very good. All right, we still got some custom nodes over here. Does that say tensile roof canopy? You have a tensile roof canopy?
Yeah, because I'm going for like a more open roof structure because cricket stadiums are more open. So trying to just do like a canopy with a truss support.
Are you running some tensile structural calculations on that as well?
No, I don't have time for that.
You don't have time for that. Okay, very good. Okay, I didn't hear any responses on the 3 versions of Dynamo, I will tell you. There is Dynamo for Revit. You get that with Revit. There's Dynamo Sandbox, which runs on its own. And then there's also Dynamo Studio. Dynamo Studio stands independent of Revit, has no Revit connection at all. They're all beautiful flavors of Dynamo. Okay, and so it looks like Achintya is using Dynamo Studio, and that would mean that Kaylee is using Dynamo for Revit because she's connecting up with Revit. And Pardis might be using Sandbox. Let's find out. Are you using Sandbox, Dynamo Sandbox?
I'm using Studio.
Using Dynamo Studio as well. Okay, very good, very good. How are we doing? Are we connecting up with Fractal? Perhaps. We'll see what happens there. Oh, look at this. We got some kind of structure over here. Okay, excellent. We'll see how that one shakes out. Let's see. Matt, are you out in the crowd?
I'm here, Marcelo, and I'm here with a fellow Manchester United fan. I've managed to find another one in the room. Mr. Richard, Ron Richard, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
And you certainly are an AU veteran.
I am a veteran, yes.
And you're a Manchester United fan as well as a...
I am a Fulham, yeah.
Fulham?
So I'm down on my luck on many levels. But go Atlanta United.
Atlanta United, there you go. So what do you think of the designs on display?
I'm loving it. I'm loving the build from the ground up on the cricket pitch, and I like the idea that we're using various tools to get to the results. So I'm impressed. I think this is the amount of time that they spent in Qatar on all their stadiums for the World Cup.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, thank you, Matt. That's excellent. Looks like we got our tensile structure moving in here. Okay, looks like we got a... How are we doing with... You know, that looks quite good already. Is this your first design iteration?
This is the computational model that Fractal takes to then generate hundreds of other models.
Okay, so where is Fractal at the moment?
Fractal, I was able to push the model to the cloud and it's generating design iteration.
So the cloud is chewing on it at the moment. Tell the cloud it's got about 5 minutes. And how are we doing here, Kaylee?
I think we're doing well. Got the whole stadium together, just the C values of the seats.
The C values of the seats. Okay, excellent. Looks like we're doing a lot of seat optimization. I suppose that's extremely important. All right, very good. Okay, it looks like Achintya just filled in her tensile structure. Let's see here. We got surface, oh, very good. We got a surface loft. Looks like we have an array as well as a rotate, geometry rotate. Okay, very good. Good job there. Okay, here comes Fractal. See here, Fractal's gonna run a bunch of different design iterations. I'm glad you're able to connect up. It's doing the work for her. Excellent, Pardis. And then let's check on Kaylee. Kaylee, look at this. We've got it looks like we've got the Quidditch hoops. We also have the Quidditch players. Is that correct?
Sarah, everyone decided not to.
Okay, where is the person of the hour? Is that... Excellent. Were these families that you created and brought them into Dynamo?
Yes. I brought them into Dynamo. However, Dynamo doesn't accept curves really well, so I had to build them all with straight lines.
Build them on straight lines. Dynamo doesn't bring in curves very well. Did you hear that, Dynamo developers? All right, very good. Okay, it looks like our cricket stadium's coming along. We got to get that roof on there, huh, Achintya? All right, we've got 4 minutes left. We're at the 4-minute mark. All right, looks like is Fractal done with its computing?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so it's just a matter of picking the right design. Excellent, excellent.
Marcelo.
Yes,
Marcelo,
Matt.
I'm here. So, with just over 3.5 minutes left, I think we need to re-energize the crowd, Marcelo.
Okay, very good. All right, crowd. I was going to do it a 2-minute warning, but this is perfect time.
Here. I'm
oh,
here.
There you are.
There we are. We're there. So, what I was
Go for
thinking
it.
was every stadium needs one thing from the crowd, and that is a Mexican wave. We all know what the Mexican wave is? Yep. So what we're going to do, we're going to go from this side right across the stage, and we're going to come back. Okay, so after 3, 1, 2, 3, go, 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 go! And back! Come on, more noise, more noise,
good.
Go.
All right, very good. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. All right, we are at the 3-minute mark. We'll be cheering them on for the last minute and a half. That sounds good. All right, very good. Are you picking your design yet? You have something good in mind?
I'm sorry?
Have you picked your final design from Fractal?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, very good. She's settling in on a design. Excellent. How's that roof coming along, Cynthia? It looks, oh, very good. See, we scaled it. Where's our geometry? Let's show that again to the audience. What do we got there? We got geometry translate. Yes, geometry translate. A little bit of scale there. Very good. All right. We got a bunch of sliders. That's the power of Dynamo. You can run these sliders back and forth and change the input values on the fly. And that's for your seating. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, very good. Yeah, you got to get those. The Hogwarts audience could be a rowdy bunch. So you got to make sure that seating is correct. Very good. All right, we got a code block. We got a 1 minute 47 seconds left. 1 minute 47 seconds left. All right, let's start cheering them on. All right, very good, very good. If anyone knows, Code Blocks holds Design Script. Design Script's another scripting language within Dynamo. You kind of see it pop up here and there in this code block as well as this one. That's very good. Also, Cynthia's got some here to run some variables. That's very good. Kind of helps you organize your code. All right, we'll cheer them on the last 60 seconds. That sounds like a good idea. Okay, we're almost done. You gotta better pick those designs, parties. Roof's looking good. Quidditch Stadium's looking good. Loving the colors. Now, Kaylee actually is still using the Dynamo background preview. So that means colors are allowed in the Dynamo background preview, which is excellent. And then also, Cynthia is also utilizing color in her Dynamo background preview. Very good. Okay, let's cheer them on. We've got 35 seconds yet, so let's go, let's go.
Come
on, let's cheer them on. 35 seconds left.
We're
dropping.
Dynamo! Dynamo! Dynamo!
Let's go, let's go, let's go. And we'll give them each a minute to summarize what they did. All right, 19, 18. We'll count down the last 10, 15. Let's go, let's go. Let's count down the last 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, back away from those computers. All right, get that hand off that mouse.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you, everyone. I'm gonna start here with Cynthia. Cynthia, you had looks like you worked completely in Dynamo Studio. Excellent. Can you describe what you have here?
So what I tried to do was mostly the first part. What you saw me doing was optimizing the sight lines, that is the C value. So I made sure that, so what I made sure was in the front, I wanted a better sight lines so that, because it's also closer. So, and also wanted to keep it around anything above 90, which I got. So that was something I was aiming for. And with respect to the roof canopy, I wanted to go with something more open, because a cricket stadium usually just has a canopy. And I used DynaShape, which is a custom package by Long, to do the just a little bit of form finding in order to do it. And then I just took one and then created the rest.
Okay. Excellent, Shindy. I think let's cheer her on. Okay, very good. Now we're going to go to Pardis. Let's find out what was happening on with Fractal. Go for it.
So mine is about integrating artificial intelligence in design and generative design. So looking at the computer as a partner in design, as opposed to just using to 3D model. And then in my Dynamo graph, basically we have a couple of inputs. We can tell the computer what are the goals that we're working with. So I give it what range in a field width I want to look for between 40 and 80, and what length I want to look for, and then be able to work with the roof and be able to tie in shading, into it so that the roof can rotate in X and Y or Y and Z directions and close and open. So that generates, instead of us going through, 1, 2, 3 design iterations, it's able to design and come up and generate hundreds of thousands of design iterations. That is then pushed to the Fractal that you can see it's here for the sake of right now, for lack of time, I just let it design 10 design iterations in like 5 minutes. And you're able to basically see how it works and changes and rotates and closes and opens the roof. And then you can filter in and out different design iterations based on the goals that you're looking for and slide in and out and see the changes and be able to explore the design iterations and pick the one that works the best.
Thank you, Pardis and Fractal. Okay, finally we're going to check in with Kaylee's Quidditch Stadium. Why don't you take it away?
Thank you. So for my Quidditch Stadium, I first selected the pitch family inside of Revit and then was able to design the roundness of the corners of the surrounding tiers for each of the tiers in the stadium. I then had a bunch of sliders for each of those tiers. So that actually fed into a bunch of Python script dictating the number of rows, how deep the seats were, what the C value was, how high people's eyes were, in just creating that geometry. I then also used that curve to create the facade around the outside of the stadium, and I can actually push and pull how far that wraps around the stadium with another set of sliders. And then I just use interaction with Revit to get all of my great families into here for the liveliness of the Quidditch pitch.
Okay, very good. Some parametric. Let's cheer her up. All right, why don't you all three stand up and we'll get you in front. Okay, so by round of applause, we're gonna see who the winner is. So could you all stand up in the front so everyone can see you? Woo! Let's give them one more round of applause. I know it's really stressful. Okay, so by round of applause, do we have a applausometer? We'll figure it out.
You're on.
Okay, very good. So, who thought that Cynthia Stadium was the best? By round of applause. Okay, very good. Let's hear. How about Pardis's Fractal Stadium? Okay, and how about Kaylee's Quidditch Stadium?
Yeah!
All right, let's do that one more time. How about Cynthia's Cricket Stadium? And Pardis's Fractal Stadium. And finally, Kaylee's colorful Quidditch Stadium. Woo! All right, it sounds like Pardis is the winner. Pardis, congratulations. You are going to be winning. Matt, why don't you go ahead and hand that out?
Pardis,
you can take it from here, Matt.
Your very own Z2 mini workstation. Congratulations, everybody. And well done, everybody. Fantastic designs. Marcello, huge thank you as well, sir.
Thank you. One more round of applause for our contestants. It's really difficult to be up here. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. We're going to move on to the next Design Slam. And our next Design Slam is for AutoCAD and Infraworks. Woo! And our host for this Design Slam, welcome to the stage, Eric. Woo! Come on, guys. Wake up. Let's do this. There you go, Eric.
All right. Before we get this thing rolling, I got to talk about who my favorite sports team is. Autodesk. I got the jersey on right here. Let's hear it for Autodesk for putting on this awesome event, right? All right, let's hear from our contestants, or let's get introduced to our contestants. First up, from David Evans and Associates, whose favorite team is the Portland Trail Blazers. Let's hear it for Dan Ilian. Come on up, Dan.
Woo!
Brother. Next up, from Arcat.com, whose favorite team is the Boston Red Sox, Matt Wunsch. Bring it on up, Matt. Hey, brother. And last but not least, from VHB, Chris Dubois. Bring it on up, Chris. High five for Chris. So we've been talking about, of course, a stadium, and you know, if you're going to put a stadium somewhere, you got to get people to and from that stadium. And that's what our 3 brave contestants are going to be working on today. Not only do you have to get people to and from that stadium, you also have to give it that local charm, that local appeal. And what they've done in preparation for this contest is they've used AutoCAD. Remember, our Design Slam is about AutoCAD and Infraworks. They've used AutoCAD to design a monument that will sit outside of the stadium. So we're going to begin with our first round just by taking a look at what these guys have designed in AutoCAD. Before we begin, though, I want to find out a little bit more about our contestants. Dan, I want to know, who's your favorite sports figure and why?
Well, since Portland is my favorite team, it's got to be Damian Lillard. I mean, he's the best player. I'm not going to say in Portland history, but I think he may get there eventually. So,
there you have it. All right, Matt, same question for you. Favorite sports figure and why?
I gotta go with Joe Sakic from Colorado Avs, just because he, instead of hoisting the Stanley Cup over his head when they won, he handed it directly to Ray Bork.
Nice, nice. And Chris, favorite sports figure and why?
I think I've got to take Coach Belichick. Do your job. Yeah, thank you. It's okay. Definitely Coach Belichick.
All right. I'm a Steelers fan, so I'm not going to take too much offense to that. But the Patriots have certainly been tough for us. So we're going to start out, as I mentioned, with our first round, which is to look at what these folks have designed in AutoCAD. You know, everyone thinks of lines, arcs, and circles when it comes to AutoCAD, but there's so much more you can do with it. And these guys are going to show you the monuments that they've designed. So guys, let's go ahead and switch into AutoCAD. I'm going to start at Chris's end this time. And Chris is going to tell us, first of all, about the design of his monument and why he chose what he chose. Go ahead and tell us what we're looking at, Chris.
So there's a specific NFL team who is making their way to Las Vegas. I think it was in their current stadium, they have a way to honor their owner with the never-ending flame. So I think it was time to bring in a very large cauldron, Olympic-size style flame for Al Davis.
So tell us a little bit about some techniques that you used to design this, and maybe let's orbit around it a little bit so we can see it from all angles.
Sure. So what we did was just take a couple of ellipses and a B-spline, and we went ahead and just lofted them along a path. And then we added in a little support block in the bottom, and we got our lovely shape right here.
Who knew you could do all that with AutoCAD, right? So much more than lines, arcs, and circles. I'm going to jump over here to Dan now. Dan, tell us about your design. Why did you do what you did?
Well, since this is going to be a football stadium, I wanted to do a giant-looking video screen right outside the stadium. So I created some funky-looking little spiral supports, had to make them the color of money and gold since we're in Vegas, and then just put on the screen, I got a giant football. So I think everyone here in Vegas is probably excited for football to be coming here.
So how did you do the spirals? What are the techniques you use for that?
So I actually created a polyline spiral and then a circle at the end of it, and then did a follow me and created that 3D solid around, and then just copied it and rotated it and then did some arrays. So pretty easy.
That's what I love about our users. They're so creative in using the different tools and commands to do whatever they wish. All right, Matt, tell us what you got and why you designed it that way.
So I've got basically a water fountain with the Raiders logo as a poker chip because we are in Vegas. This was designed basically using some extrusions, a void, blend, and some custom materials in AutoCAD.
Awesome. And tell us a little bit about a technique that you use that you're especially proud of to get this done.
Probably just the custom material, being able to apply that material right to AutoCAD solid.
Very cool. A little nod to some news about a stadium moving into the area with Matt's monument there. So I'm going to ask you guys to switch into Infraworks now, all right? So we're about to enter our first live round of design, and you can see an Infraworks model here. Highlighted in blue, we have the stadium area. If you look over here, you can see the stadium near the center. And the other purple highlighted area is a parking area. And in this first live round, as I mentioned, you've got to move people to and from the stadium. So these guys are going to design a light rail system to get from the stadium to the parking area and back. We've also got the monument they designed that they're going to drop in as well. So we have our 8-minute timer set. You guys ready? On 3, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, go. All right, here we go, folks. Let's see what these guys are going to start off with. Everyone's jumping into plan view here. Dan's zoomed in closely. By the way, these guys were allowed to bring some content with them, so they had a little time before the competition to build some content in some different programs. They're going to be dropping that into Infraworks. And it looks like Dan's about ready to bring in maybe a kiosk or a parking garage. Matt's doing the same. He's got some 3D models that he's going to drop in to his model. What's Chris got going on here? He's going a completely different direction. Look at that. Just in a matter of a few seconds, Dan was able to drop in a building and some other structures. You know, while we're talking about stadiums, we ought to bring a couple of people up on the stage who know a little bit about this topic. From Chelsea FC, we've got Matt Mead.
Welcome, Matt.
Come on up, Chelsea. Or come on up, Matt, sorry. Matt, tell us a little bit about what you do for the Chelsea organization.
Okay, welcome. Great to be here, everybody. My name's Matt, and I'm the Head of Education and Innovation for Chelsea Football Club. And we've had about 2 or 3 years working with Autodesk, where we're teaching the kids critical skills around Fusion and Tinkercad, helping them design Nike boots and stadiums.
All right, great to have you up here.
Thank you.
Next, we have Jeremy Lovejoy. Come on up from the 49ers.
Not on now. Jesse Lovejoy, welcome to the stage, Jesse.
My apologies. Jesse, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do at the 49er organization?
Thank you. So I pretty much do what Matt does. The 49ers have an extensive education program that we run out of Levi Stadium and in the community. So I'm responsible for developing all of that. I also was responsible for developing the 49ers Museum, which is a 20,000 square foot building inside of Levi Stadium. So we do the best we can to get young people excited about science, technology, engineering, art, and math using the game of football and the stadium as a platform.
That's awesome. So glad to have you both here.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about what you're seeing here. I mean, you guys are both obviously involved with sports and stadiums. What are the primary ways that your fans get to and from their stadiums?
Well, for anyone that's ever been to London and been to Chelsea, this would be a dream because it's a huge urbanized area. There is very little land. We are sandwiched between a major road, an overground line, an underground line with only 2 entry points. So having the space is something that we don't have the privilege of having at Chelsea. So this is great and something I'm sure we'd love.
How about you, Jesse?
Yeah, having gone and visited Matt at Stamford Bridge, one of the unique things about being there is it's kind of, you're in the middle of a community and then bam, you're right on top of the stadium. Levi Stadium is kind of in a business park in Santa Clara, so we do have a lot of space around us, but we don't have the same level of, I would say, really high-level public transportation infrastructure built in. We do have a local Amtrak, we got a light rail, we've got a couple of other things, but not anything like the tube. And coming out of the tube and being, you know, what, a couple hundred yards away from Stamford Bridge.
It's awesome. Thank you.
Well, this looks cool. I think I'm interested to see some of the strategy to go from A to B. It doesn't look like that much distance, so I have to get creative.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with this product. Of course, this is Infraworks we're looking at. not only are you able to bring in content like these guys have brought in, some buildings, some other structures, but you can also create design inside of this product. You can see the elevated rail that Matt has drawn. Chris is over here working on his stadium area, and we've got some pretty interesting rail and structure going on over there. The window that Dan has in the lower part of his screen is a profile. It's a profile view. It's kind of a side view of what he's designing over there. So not only is Infraworks a great tool for visualizing your design and looking at a lot of different components, it has a lot of engineering built into it as well. By the way, guys, you got about 3 minutes left in this round, so you've already eaten up a good 5 minutes. If you look over here, you can see Chris's monument that he dropped in next to the stadium. You got the flames coming out of there. It just goes to show you that with the combination of AutoCAD and Infraworks, you can build just about anything and incorporate it into your Infraworks model. Dan, I see the hands coming up over here. What do you got going on?
Well, I'm working on my structure right now, so I just put in a bridge for this maglev rail that we're going to have that's connecting the parking lot, external parking lot, to the stadium. So it's chugging right now. Fingers crossed that it chugs and works.
It's one thing about Infraworks, you can ask a lot of it and it usually delivers for you. So I'm going to throw another question at you guys. How do you, one of the great things that Infraworks does is for choosing the site for your development. What are some things that you consider when choosing a site for a stadium? I'll let you go first.
Well, for anyone that follows the Premier League in Chelsea, we are due to get a new stadium. And the big issues for us is space, access to the ground. So how can fans get there? Is there any historical link to the site? Environmental, economic. There's multiple things that we need to consider to make sure we can put in a £1 billion stadium. I think the essence of it being close to the home of Chelsea is really important. We can't just put a stadium 10 miles away. It has to be where the fans have been since 1905.
Right. So getting it close to where the fans are, that's really important. Jesse, how about you?
I would definitely echo that. I would also say anybody in the room who's familiar with trying to build anything in the state of California understands that there's a lot that you have to do to figure out where you can actually put a project, a $1.3 billion Levi's Stadium. So coming to understand what the options truly were, and then looking at the amount of land, the existing infrastructure, what you can add to a community. I think that was a big part of what the 49ers and what we looked at was, hey, if we go to Santa Clara, what can we bring to the Silicon Valley that it doesn't already have? And having a world-class sports venue that's hosted the Super Bowl and WrestleMania and Taylor Swift and Beyonce a couple weeks ago, I think it's really good to bring that to the community, and that only happens if you're able to kind of understand where the gaps might be.
Very good, thank you. Well, guys, we're down to 30 seconds, so let's see what we got here. Looks like Dan got through what he was working at, what he had the computer churning on. Matt, let's see what you got going on. Some pretty interesting structures in the back there. Matt is creating some bookmarks, and if you're curious, a bookmark is actually a saved view in the model. So you can create those at different points in the model with different viewpoints. And he's storing one now called Stadium. Look at the awesome parking area that Dan has dropped in the parking lot over there. I'm not sure how he did all that in such a short time, but... Oh, and guys, we are out of time. We have counted down to 0. So hands off the mouse for just a second. And let's take a moment to talk about what you've done so far. Let's start with Chris. Chris, tell us what you've done so far.
So we've added in our light rail, our monorail that we custom built. Little pieces there. And then we also went over and just added some quick material to our stadium to show that, hey, here's our intent. There's going to be some parking here. It's still only 10% design, though, so we haven't made it all the way there. We'll also have a station, and then we're going to swing this rail back all the way down over to McLaren.
Pretty impressive. So you laid out several miles of rail in a matter of a couple of minutes. That's pretty amazing. All right, Matt, what have you done so far?
Well, like you said, I got a bookmark here that's going to be the starting point of my video later on. I started off by completely replacing the entire south end of the Las Vegas Strip with Cyber City 3D models to give it a more realistic look. Got my elevated railway that was created from a shape file that was pulled in. I brought in a point cloud, which is going to be the transportation hub for the railway. I've also got some parking laid out roughly here.
Nice. So you laid out tons and tons of parking spaces, and that building there on the left of your screen, that's a point cloud. That's not actually a building, it's a point cloud, so that's really cool. All right, Dan, what have you got so far?
Well, I started off with a parking lot, surface lot at the stadium. I've got a maglev system. So this is a component road that I've done some unique fiddling with the structure to create this maglev structure, and that's going to be the connection from the stadium to some additional parking, and then a nice little feature here for pedestrians to walk around over at this surface parking lot.
Very impressive, all three of you. So Matt, who do you think's in the lead right now? Do you have a favorite you're picking out?
I have to say this gentleman to my left. I'm very impressed so far.
Jesse, what are you thinking? Is there someone in the lead right now?
Yeah, I would say the project that, and then forgive me if you all did it, but the one that connected it to the airport, I think makes a lot of sense. Certainly well thought out there. You're going to have a lot of folks that are going to want to come straight from McCarran to the stadium.
Awesome. All right. So let's get ready for round two. So in round two, we're going to focus on connecting the stadium to the airport this time, again with a light rail system. And
I was a little behind.
Also, our contestants need to look at being able to present their information at the end of the round. So they're going to be creating an animation to drive us through the model to show it to us. Are you guys ready to roll? All right. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, go. Not sure if you guys knew this, but Matt and Dan and Chris have been contestants in the Design Slam before. They are veterans. Last year's winner was Dan, and the other two I know are working hard to knock him off and take the crown away from him. Let's see where these guys are going this time. It looks like Dan's focusing in on a golf course maybe over there, or he's got some rail going on over in that area. In the center, Matt has his storyboard feature up. Storyboard feature is really awesome. It lets you pick a couple of different views in the model, and it creates an animation that passes through those views very smoothly. And then over here on Chris's screen, looks like he's working on maybe a structure to go along with the parking lot. So, Matt, I know in your situation, you've got a lot of population density around your stadium, so mass transit really isn't a consideration. But Jesse, what do you think about using mass transit like we're seeing here, light rail or maybe buses to get folks to the stadium? Do you think that's a viable option?
Oh, of course. Yeah, we have a light rail right outside of Levi Stadium, and one of the things it really helps with is that Caltrain, which is the major mode of public transportation up and down the peninsula, so the San Francisco side of the bay, it doesn't go all the way to the stadium, but you can get the light rail from a Caltrain station, so it helps to kind of fill a gap there. So yeah, absolutely. You know, one of the things that's kind of unique that we've done at Levi Stadium is, you know, have a partnership with rideshare. So I have to look at. I was kind of wondering if anybody might address that in this competition about how to design a really smart rideshare hub, because that's becoming more and more popular for folks to get to games.
It's a great point. I'm not sure if that was considered. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what these guys come up with. So Chris is on to his storyboard now. These guys are looking toward the end for the presentation part, where they're actually going to show you an animation of flying through or driving through their model. By the way, one of the great things that Infraworks is really good at is aggregating different types of data. Just looking at what these guys have done, they've brought in numerous different types of 3D models, and they're also designing in and around those 3D models that they've imported. So it's got freeform design tools for road, rail, site design, all of that. And you can see that the environment is quite stunning as well. It's real-time rendering. It's a very, very impressive product to work in. It's very real to work in.
Eric, we've got a question, Eric. Eric, a question from the crowd. This is to Jesse. So Jesse, obviously it's a pretty...
Where are you, Matt?
I'm over here.
There you are.
I'm too short.
Oh, there you are.
Can't
Okay.
see me.
What's up?
So obviously you've got a pretty new stadium.
Yes, sir.
What's the role that the local community would play in the design of that stadium?
Sorry, repeat that last part.
Within the design of the stadium, what kind of role would the local community play in choosing the design?
In choosing the design?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I wasn't in the room with HNTB and the group that actually put the stadium together, but I do know that there was a ton of dialogue with the community about the project in general, right? So where exactly it would be, what the public transportation mechanisms would be, you know, and more so for us, it was really about how do we benefit the community, right? So it wasn't necessarily about them having a voice in the design, although that could have happened, I'm not sure. It was more about, hey, if we're going to build a stadium, how do we do things that directly benefit the kids of that area, the teachers of that area, the juvenile justice system? You know, how do we make ourselves a part of that? So we were really proud of the things that we've done around that, and I think the way that the stadium has been received generally in terms of its design accessibility has been very positive.
Thanks, Jesse.
Great answer. All right, they're still working hard at. Matt's still working on the storyboard part of his model. So is Dan. Chris, I gotta say that monument out in front of the stadium is looking really, really fantastic. Not sure how you did the flames on that. I'd like to maybe look into that a bit. You can see the very impressive elevated railway that Matt has built on his model. He's working on the animation right now, testing it out. We've got that building there in the foreground made out of the point cloud. Matt, what's something you've seen so far that's really impressive, that kind of surprises you about what you're looking at?
Apart from the speed that these guys work at is amazing. I think that the rail system would be amazing if Chelsea had the land to do this. I think the ability for families to travel from a parking garage to the stadium would ease the congestion, because if anyone's been to a Premier League football match in London, it's chaos. The tubes, if the Transport for London decide to shut the tube line, which they often do on a match day, chaos ensues everywhere. So to have something that you could trust and that would be reliable, I think is really great. To ensure the game goes ahead with the people there and make sure it's the greatest atmosphere they could have.
Guys, you are down to 2.5 minutes. Just to let you know, 2.5 minutes. Jesse, what do you see up here that's impressed you so far?
Well, I promise I'm not pandering, but I'm certainly not very familiar with how this software works. But the fluidity that you can move from one view to another and be able to create a project of this scale at this speed is really cool to see, and to watch these guys kind of do their thing is really neat. But what I have noticed, and I don't know if Chris knows this, but you know, the Raiders are building that flame, and they might want to steal that design. I don't know if they've chosen it yet, but it's really well done.
You never know. They might be giving you a call, Chris, about that.
Anybody from the Raiders in the room, you might want to grab Chris after the fact.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you're totally right. That's a very good observation. Infraworks is built for working at a very large scale. We can model square miles, hundreds of square miles. Here we're looking at a really big chunk of the city of Las Vegas, and we're able to place our design in that very large context and navigate around that model very quickly. So, yeah, good thing to point out. We're down to 1.5 minutes, guys. 1.5 minutes. Everyone is working on their storyboards, on their animations. So pretty soon we're going to see some pretty exciting tours through the model as we near the end. We're down to 1 minute 10 seconds for Chris, Matt, and Dan. I got to say that amount of parking design that's over there is pretty amazing. Another question for you guys about stadiums. What percentage of your fans would you say, you know, commute to the stadium or versus parking? Like, how much parking is required around your stadium versus people that just kind of go, you know, by public transportation or walking or that sort of thing?
Well, the capacity at Chelsea is 42,000, and I would guess, without knowing the actual numbers, probably 10% or less would drive to the stadium. It's part of the experience is getting the train, probably getting off a stop early, going to the pubs, having the atmosphere, walking to the ground. So really, it's not built for people to drive to. It's train, it's tube, it's taxi from local areas, or it's walking.
Thank you. All right, we got 10 seconds. I want you folks to help me count down. Here we go. 8, 7,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, that's it, guys. Hands off the mouse. Why don't you just lean back, take a breath. It's all over now except for the presentation. I'm going to tell you, these guys work really, really hard preparing for this competition. There's a high amount of stress, a lot of work that goes into it ahead of time, and we really appreciate all that they do to make this amazing. So I want everyone to pay really close attention to these last presentations because that's what you're going to judge on at the end to choose our winner. I'm going to start with Dan. Dan, take us through your design and tell us what you've done.
All right, give me 1 sec. 1 sec. The model's still regenerating. All right, there we go. So I'm going to start at the far west end and kind of fly through this maglev system that we've got. And this is going to be connecting the parking area external to the stadium. So I did a very unique kind of Vegas-y design of this structure. It's a maglev. It's got these funky supports to it. And as we'll see as we get to the end, we come into this pretty unique structure. And I'm going to show you as soon as we get to the end what I did to connect to the airport. I barely got it in. I think it worked. I'll take a look at it here just a sec. So then I've got my parking lot. I've got my giant video boards out front of the stadium. And then underground, wait for it. There is a tunnel. This is going to be the connection all the way to the airport from this station underground. And it runs, I'm going to change this so that you can actually see underground. So that's it. It's shadowed right there, but it runs underground all the way around the airport. And then comes up out of the ground right at the airport here. So I obviously did not get to fix the station here. We ended up in a hole. But I got a tunnel in there, and that's how we're going to connect to the airport.
Nice work. Let's hear it for Dan Ilian.
Great job.
Next, we'll go to Matt Wunsch. Matt, take us through your work here.
All right, I tried to throw a little bit of everything at this. Like you said, I've got the point cloud. Got some animation going on as well. Some people just kind of loitering around, waiting for the train. Struggling with the regen here. But spinning around the stadium to get a full view of it, then backing out, getting a view of what should be the railway. Again, I believe the animation is just struggling here. I got the point cloud just to show some of the diversity that of the files that Infraworks can handle. Got the watermark that also helps with the presentation as well. Like I said earlier, I replaced the entire southern end of the Vegas Strip with more realistic models. And like Dan, I've also got a tunnel as well. Not nearly as nicely laid out as his. I've also got a Revit model that I pulled in for the parking garage near the stadium.
Nice. All right, let's hear it from Matt. Matt Wunsch, ladies and gentlemen. Last up but not least, Chris, tell us what you got.
Well, we decided to go with a 2-track monorail to make this trip in less than 3 minutes from the parking lot to the stadium. And as you pull into the stadium, again, you see that iconic flame that's going to head and lead the Raiders to their next Super Bowl here. But also, we took this tram completely above grade and brought it all the way down to the airport again so that we can have a consistent flow in people and get people where they need to go. Needs to pause. And we'll just leave you with sort of this last view here in memory of Al Davis.
Very impressive. Let's hear it for Chris Dubois. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to vote. The way we're going to do this is I'm going to count to 3. I'm going to stand behind one of our contestants. In fact, why don't I stand next to you, Dan? You can go ahead and stand up. On the count of 3, we're going to make some noise for Dan. If you want Dan to be the winner of this competition, make some noise on 1, 2, 3, go. All right, Matt, you're next. Matt Wunsch, ladies and gentlemen, if you think Matt should be the winner of our competition, make some noise on 1, 2, 3, go! And last but not least, Chris Dubois. If you liked Chris's model the best out of the 3, make some noise on 1, 2, 3, go! Dan, you're gonna have to go again. I couldn't tell a difference between Dan and Chris here. All right, we're gonna do Dan again. Make it good, make it good. 1, 2, 3, Dan Ilian. All right, one more chance for Chris. On 3, 1, 2, 3, Chris Dubois. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Ilian has once again earned the crown.
Congratulations.
Good job, Dan. Thank you to all the contestants. Thank you so much. You guys did an awesome job. Thank you. Thanks for all the hard work you put into it.
Thanks, guys. An incredible design slam. And again, big thank you to Eric. Come on, buddy. Chaps, you okay to stay here? Good, good, good. Okay, so now on to our third and final design slam of the evening. We are going to now bring on stage the MCs for the Fusion 360 Design Slam. Please welcome Paul and Eugene. Come on, guys. Yes, Paul.
How's it going? You had a good AU? Come on, make some noise.
Yeah, more.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's practice.
All right.
All right.
So we got some amazing contestants. This is going to be a lot of fun. So let's welcome to the stage our student ambassadors team. We got Shoko Kawata. Make some noise.
Please welcome. Please welcome. Make some noise.
And Melissa Douglas. Make some noise.
All right, so the next team is Export Elite team. They're the pro. So please welcome Alex and Furkan. Come on stage.
Come on, guys.
Yay!
And next up, we got the professionals. Please welcome to the stage Yoshi and Bryce.
Woo!
So we got a really, really awesome challenge. As you may know, any sports team needs the latest and greatest in equipment to train their athletes. So we're gonna have our experts, ambassadors, and pros here take part in designing some robots to help with training. Now, to be clear, these robots are not gonna be playing football. They're just gonna help train the athletes. All right? So, please, take your stations.
Take a seat and make sure you're logged in.
Paul, Yuji, just to confirm as well, they're designing robots as training aids for both American football and real football.
That's correct, yeah.
Excuse me. You're in America, bro. Here we call football football.
We're gonna call it hand egg.
All right, give them just 1 minute. It was Fusion turned on?
Just a second.
Just a second. Log on. What? It's okay. All right.
So as you know, Fusion 360 is a cloud-based CAD. So right now, they are logging in with their account. So as soon as you logged in with a unique Autodesk ID, whatever they built, whatever they prepared will be already stored in this machine. You know, when you open the data will come through the internet, and then they can open here. And then you will see their preparation work in a minute.
So while we're waiting, guys, obviously new technologies like this are making a big impact in sport. Are you seeing any of this being used at your clubs?
I'll go first. I don't think you see it so much yet. I think we're a bit late to the party. I mean, drones are used commonly throughout the game. There is equipment and robots to feed balls in terms of precision and power, but it's not something I'd say, as of yet, Chelsea have fully embraced as a solution for training.
And how about yourself?
I would say definitely. You know, one of the things that the 49ers were actually one of the first teams in the NFL to start using virtual reality to help train quarterbacks. And we actually have a virtual reality room in our headquarters where quarterbacks will go in and be able to diagnose coverages. And that's something that we started, I want to say, 4 or 5 years ago. So that's a very specific football application. But if you go into the Levi Stadium training room, you would find, you know, the most cutting edge and innovative medical technology that you would find in a hospital. So these guys they're getting the best of the best in terms of how to rehab their bodies, how to prepare their bodies on a weekly basis.
Because we hear a lot about data at Autodesk University, and that's critical, isn't it, in regards to monitoring the players' activities, ensuring that they're kept fit.
Yeah, I mean, even from our academy through to the first team, not so much robots, but every single player is strapped into heart monitors, and their data is sent straight through to a computer or a tablet afterwards for them to review. And this is happening at 15, 16-year-old kids. They're spending that time looking at the data, looking at the performance, reviewing it through sports code, and that side of the game, I think, is taking players to another level.
One thing that I would say, I think it's very specific to the management in terms of head coach and general manager and how kind of what their thought is on that. Because, you know, we've had head coaches in the past that were, you know, monitoring dehydration, sleep patterns, all these things, and using that data to inform practice schedules and things. And we've had coaches who were just kind of, let's roll out of bed and play football. So I think it really depends on who's running the team. But what I will say is we have a whole data analytics department that's looking at gameplay, right? Okay. So they're gathering every play, what yard down distance, you know, what formation were they in, and they're using that information as a predictive tool. So our coaches are getting a game plan from the head coach, and they're also getting data from the data analytics team to say, okay, here's what we think they'll do on 3rd and 8. Okay.
And how are you finding the equipment side of the sports evolving as technology advances? Of course, there's a big difference between the equipment an American football player wears and then what a soccer or football player wears.
Well, yeah, for soccer, it's minimal. It's boots, cleats, shin pads, really, in terms of equipment you need to play the game. That's why I think it's probably the world's global game in terms of you just need a ball and a ground to play on. You don't really need much. But the equipment now, in terms of the boots and the shin pads, shin guards, they're getting better and better, lighter and lighter through technology and data, been able to give these guys the best experience ever. Very different to 20 years ago when boots were heavy, they were made of leather, the shin pads were thick. It would weigh the guys down. They need to be as light as possible on the field, and it's definitely changing.
I'm actually really glad you asked that question. You know, one of my favorite lessons that we teach through 49ers EDU, our education program, is about the engineering design process, and we look at the evolution of football equipment specific to that. So have kids put on a jersey from 1960, have them put one on from 2018, and make an observation about what do they notice. It's a heavy wool, down to your knees jersey, you know, that probably weighs 6 to 8 pounds, you know, and now the guys are wearing something that's tight to their body, it's breathable. I'm sure very soon it'll have, you know, implants in it to be able to track their movement. We don't have that yet in the NFL. But the idea of using equipment specifically for something for kids to relate to is a really, really powerful thing when you're trying to inspire kids to be more excited about subjects that they may not want to approach.
And just looking at that, I was shocked when I visited the Levi Stadium of the things you had considered in the design. The fact that you have X number of students per day coming through, but all the facilities are actually on site.
Yeah, you know, the York family, Dr. John York, our co-chairman, his wife Denise, their son Jed, our ownership team, they're unicorns in professional sports. You know, very proud of the way that they handle their commitment to the community. And when the stadium was being built, the reason I was hired is because they wanted something different. They wanted we wanted classrooms in the stadium and in the museum. So we now have 4 fully operational classrooms. We have 300 to 360 kids every day in our building, coming through from a lot of areas of need in the Bay Area community. And our goal with them is just to try and show them what these subjects look like in real life through the prism of something that they care about, like football.
I think when we're all growing up, we all want to be a sportsman. But the reality is not many are going to actually have a career in that. So technology offers an option.
All right, so most people are ready here except Autodesk stuff right here. So maybe like we can actually, in thinking of starting already, it's a little handicap to Autodesk employee, which is okay.
I think that's fair.
We take it. We can take it.
Let's get them rolling. Let's give the pros a little bit of a handicap.
I mean, they're pros, right? They don't need the extra
Let's
time.
grade them on a curve a little bit. Like let's go.
All right.
All right, so then let's start. He's almost
We're nearly ready.
Yeah, he's almost there. So
Okay.
people waiting.
It's good. It turns the screen off.
Yeah.
You gonna wait?
No, we can start.
We can start? I mean, we could take a minute to talk about how we've matched with our outfits today. You may have noticed we put a lot of effort into this with the matching sneakers and then the trousers and the tops. We like to, show everyone the love. Like, we're brothers here. This is how we roll.
Yeah, out of like 365 days, probably like 95%, I'm wearing fusion shirt. How about you?
95% of the
how
time,
about
I'm
you?
wearing all black and ridiculous sneakers.
All right. Cool. Well, let's hit it. Let's start, Paul.
Okay, audience, are you ready? You're gonna have to do better than that. Come on.
Come on. Give me the best.
Contestants, are you ready? All right, together. 3, 2, 1,
stop.
Go!
All right. Are you updating now? All right, so let's take a look. So as you know, as you realize, people are already prepared. They finished all the sketch work because it takes a lot of time. Since we have only 20 minutes, and now they are using a lot of like modeling tool, like extrusion, revolve, those simple tools to create 3D form. And since they're the team, one person is probably making a mechanical design, and the other person is making like industrial design part. And maybe at the very end, the last minute, we're gonna combine them, and we're gonna even do the renderings, right? Okay.
This is gonna look really cool. So what you're gonna see is collaboration happening live in front of you right now. 2 people working together to bring a really cool product to life.
Except one team.
Except Bryce. Come on, Bryce.
Yeah, your name and belongings, the company name. Yeah, he's probably trying to show all the steps from the beginning.
Yeah,
installing software.
He's being very sportsmanlike, right? He's starting from step 0.
Yeah, step 0. This is if you never ever used Fusion 360, pay attention. That's what you do. All right. Amazing, amazing. So, all right, just take a look at what's happening here. For example, third one from the left, this tool is called Sculpt Modeling. It's a polygon-based modeling style. It's quite flexible. And then if you pay attention a little while, you will see how flexible it is. And versus fourth one in the middle, it's very mechanical, technical approach. It's called solid modeling. Okay.
And they're hybridizing it a little bit with the T-splines over here. Alex and Furkan, they're doing something really interesting.
Yeah,
guys, tell us a little bit more about what you're doing.
I'm modeling everything out of a quad ball and adding faces that define the torso. And then I will use those in different materials.
Very cool.
Cool. Then let's ask some questions to the student team as well. Yeah.
So, Shoko, tell us a little bit more about what you're working on.
Yes,
I love sushi.
Me too.
Can I just say right now, I'm Team Shoko and Melissa all the way. Let's go, girls.
So if you guys could design a robot to help train your athletes, what would you be looking for? Just something to beat them up, or
a goalkeeping coach that never allows a goal to go in. Brick the wall up. Just put the bricks in there and done.
Yeah.
Clean sheet every game.
Nice.
You know what I'll say? Because I saw a video clip the other day of the level to which robots have gotten in terms of what they're able to do and how they're able to move. I think if in 5 or 10 years you had a route runner, right? Like a robot that you could put on, match a DB up against, program a post or program a hook and have it run just a perfect route and have the DB have to try and guard the perfect route, that would be kind of cool.
I think soccer's such a fluid game. It's a bit different to American football, which has more regimented and organized plays. You know, soccer changes every second when the ball can ricochet off someone's knee. You lose possession, you get it back, it goes in, it goes out. I think it'd be tough. I think it's going to come. Inevitably, the technology and the robotics will come into the game, which I think is great. But at the moment, we've got a lot more to do, I think.
Honestly, I think the biggest opportunity is just continue preventative maintenance on players' bodies and injury rehabilitation. I mean, anything that you can do to advance that science is what everybody's going to want. Because no matter what you do, there's always injuries are going to be a big part of the game. Our quarterback, we miss him dearly. We lost him early this season to an ACL tear. And it would be really nice if we had something that he could go do for 3 weeks and then be back on the field. So maybe in a few years.
Very cool, very cool. And audience, don't forget, Matt is walking around. So if you have questions, raise your hand and he'll come find you.
I'm here,
You can
Paul.
ask the audience or
Paul,
us.
Paul, we've got a group of really enthusiastic people down here. Hi, what's your name?
My name's Tanner Vanderveer, and I want to know how Furkan is so fast at modeling. This is crazy.
Furkan is a machine.
Yeah, it's the speed at which he just moves his mouse around is uncomprehendable.
And are you a Fusion 360 user yourself?
I am, yeah, and I envy his skill here.
So who are you supporting?
I'm supporting Furkan and our other fellow student ambassadors.
Okay, other students ambassadors. What about yourself?
Hi.
Who are you shouting for?
Well, we're obviously sharing for the girls team.
For the students, for the students. Go team students, go team students.
All right, we've just passed 5 minutes.
Yep.
Let's see what we're doing. Bryce is just installing Fusion now.
Well, look at the...
He's really taking his time.
Paul, look at this. This is, I bet, generative design.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Yoshi's doing everything by himself, right? Since Bryce is taking break. You know what the concept of generative design, right? Generative design give you lots of ideas instead of Bryce, right?
Yeah, that's why you don't need teammates anymore.
I think we should be checking for sabotage.
Well, I was talking with Furkan right here, you know. His screen is in the middle on the right-hand side. And then I was just chatting with him before this tournament. And he said he has a plan. He is trying to make 700 components in 20 minutes. So please pay attention to what he's been doing. You know, I was watching, you know, his modeling. It's quite simple, but he's already start building many components. When you do the mechanical design, you know, more you have, it look realistic. Yep.
We're really blown away by what we're seeing right now. These guys are working so fast.
I know. Yeah, I'm still seeing the Shoko, you know, trying to make something that I can't really tell what it is. It doesn't look like robot to me at this moment.
It looks like a really buff robot to me.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe antenna in second one.
Maybe. Yeah, Melissa, tell us a little bit more about what you're doing.
So I'm working on the parametric side of the robot while Shoko is more in freeform. So I'm just making everything ready for importing her things.
Nice, very nice.
One more, maybe. So what do you think? How is it doing?
Actually, I'm modeling the bottom part of our robot. Actually, Tony, his name. So yeah, I'm doing.
He's busy.
He's busy. He's busy.
All right.
We've got some really cool stuff going on over here. Yoshi's modeled a whole person already.
Paul.
Well, look at that. You know, in like, what, 80 minutes? It's becoming more detailed. No wonder he's busy. It's very
Rakan's
fun
already
watching.
applying appearances. He's getting ready to render.
Yeah.
Guys, we've had a question from down on the floor. Now, obviously, the expert elites are sat there in these incredible Chelsea blue tops. But can somebody explain what an expert elite is? Well, actually, I've found the perfect person. Ladies and gentlemen, Björn Wittenberg.
Woo!
Björn, tell us more.
Yeah, I hope here are some expert elites as well. So for all the customers who are like having questions in the forum, you will find people who are answering it. And these are the expert elites. It's a group of 450 people worldwide, the best customers we have. And we are supporting it, and you see we have even a student in it. So our student ambassadors are also able to join this group.
Okay. And is Furkan the youngest ever?
No, last year we had the youngest with 18. Or 19. 19 years, right.
Incredible, okay. Thanks, Björn.
Welcome.
Let's hear it for Björn.
I really like the fact that all the players here are very international, you know. Maybe like if you're coming from APAC, you know, if you're from EMEA, of course Americas, you know, it's very multi-international team, and I'm really liking about it. And you know, they just met, you know. For example, these two gentlemen, they met like 2 hours ago, right? And then talking about what do we do, right? And then versus like student team, they have been communicating more than 1 month between Japan and Jamaica, you know, and then make up the plan, you know. Even they got Las Vegas, they've been meeting like 2-3 times to get preparation. Yeah, very interesting.
It's really impressive seeing them overcome the language barrier as well to bring something really cool to life.
That too. Okay.
All right, we're coming up at the halfway mark.
Finally.
All right, Bryce is in the game.
All right, 10 minutes left, right? Almost 10 minutes left, everybody. So.
Come on, Bryce. Show him what you got.
Now he's looking for the part from the list. Yeah, well, since they met 2 hours ago, you know, no wonder. Just keep on doing what you're doing. And you already done? No? Waiting for generative to complete it. Yeah.
Taking a coffee break.
Yeah. I did something similar, you know, design slam in Japan. And then there was one time 4 expert elites competing each other. It was a 5 minutes modeling. I asked them questions. So what do you think? They said 5 minutes is too long. Amazing.
Well, we've given them 20 minutes, and this is a lot better than what we had in Japan.
Yeah, it's high. Well, look at that. You know, it's very.
This is amazing.
Detailed. Amazing. Simply amazing. All right.
So, professionals looking around, what do you think?
Oh, sorry, Matt and I were just making our guesses at what we're actually seeing here, and we'll tell them what you think, Meaty. What do you think we're looking at here?
Some kind of ball feeder, different angles, different speeds, maybe. Still not sure, but they've gone for the right color at least.
My thought originally was some kind of a really ultra mobile camera system to capture plays from different angles to be able to look at, because coaches love to look at film.
There's soccer goals, so I'm guessing it's.
I think Matt's probably right.
How
Clearly,
about
we know where they're going down there. It's some kind of a probably very advanced treadmill. My guess is injury rehab, the next level of kind of zero gravity treadmill, is what I would assume. And in the middle here, I don't know. It's like R2D2 on steroids. It's about ready to
American footballs up there as
carry
well.
a ball through a defensive line.
All right.
We hurl the balls at 200 miles an hour out of that thing, I reckon.
Yeah, 8 more minutes. Don't forget, you have to do the renderings at the very beginning. You know, rendering is the process of making computer graphics, like CG, right? So making whatever they build super realistic, you know. But it's not like a 30-second job. It probably takes 3-4 minutes to set up. It's still fast though. So last maybe 3 minutes, you know, they should be spending time for renderings. Yeah.
Well, the student ambassadors already started.
That's
They're
rendering
rendering over there.
But the Shoko is still modeling something though.
Shoko's still modding, but Melissa's getting that render ready.
Yeah,
These guys are
and
efficient.
maybe like within less than 5 minutes, you get to see people collaborating. You know, I want you to see maybe like, you know, Bryce's data going over to Yoshi's screen. You know, I would like you to enjoy it.
But Bryce has got to actually make something first.
You're catching up. So, what did you honestly felt like when things are not, you know, up on the air?
Fusion always starts working. Always does.
All right.
You ready?
Great.
Let's find out more about that generative design.
Yep. It's coming, right? Is this the best one? Yeah. Great. I wanted to ask one question that we were talking about. So Yoshi, answer me. What is your favorite computer brand?
Tempura?
Computer. Not tempura. Computer brand.
HP.
Yeah, okay. Great.
Nice.
We got it.
Nice.
I use ZipBook.
You are the HP users. Oh, amazing.
Now I want to know what his favorite tempura is.
Tempura.
Can we find out?
All right. Almost 5 minutes, people. Last minute, detailing, modeling. I guess this team is really about focusing on sculpt modeling, right? Overall.
Yeah, but there's a lot of components as well. And Melissa's got some linked files in there to working with multiple assemblies.
Ah, they're doing
You were
assembly
even
as
putting
well.
Yeah, she's throwing some joints on there too.
Wow, so that thing gonna move, right?
Melissa, are we going to see some motion studies?
Yes, well, no, but we're going to see some motion, so that's close enough.
Nice. This looks really cool. So I'm still trying to figure out what they are. Shoko's just reminding us of her love of sushi.
Going back to sushi.
Respect.
What happened, Shoko? Stuck? I love sushi. Okay. All right.
You see what they've done is Melissa's already linked in Shoko's files.
Really?
So
Shoko is hanging around, like not doing things, like thinking of sushi or something?
Well, I think what's happening is every time Shoko is going to make a change and update it, Melissa's going to see that change and then update the file and bring the latest version in.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Wow. So I guess it's same here. Whatever the Alex is making is already on this machine or the Falcon. So same thing. When he makes that, when Alex makes changes, immediately it will be everything okay.
Yuji, I think you need to see what Bryce has got.
What? Well, it's been same for 5 minutes. No?
I mean, he started to do something, but I saw something very special on the screen there a minute ago.
Really?
I don't know if we're going to spoil it for you, but...
Okay. I'll keep it at 10. Oh, look at this. Now it's becoming a rendering right here. Oh, looks amazing, right?
It's very impressive work from our expert elites.
I can't believe this is 20 minutes. I mean, not even 20 minutes. It's 15 minutes. All right.
And so Shoko has just hit save over there, and you can see on Melissa's screen that her data is being updated.
Yeah, middle of nowhere, the soccer ball came out. All right, so what's going on? What's going on? Oh my God. Crazy, man. You know what? Let me give a comment. I think I wait more. All right? Make it
right. We just passed 3 minutes remaining.
3 minutes. Everybody, 3 minutes though. 3 minutes. Maybe start rendering, you know.
We've got some color coding by the looks of it as well, because the American football is in red and the soccer's in blue. I'm guessing they've done that deliberately.
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe.
We really don't like red at Chelsea, so this is sorry. That's over that one.
Funny that.
Yeah, let's
Manchester
see.
United.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, you finally get to see the intentions, you know, what they're building right here, you know, for the mainly sports, which sport they're making the robots for. All right. Yep, this team is a mysterious one.
We're coming up on 2 minutes now.
Yeah,
and we
2
haven't
more
asked the obvious
minutes.
question.
Almost
How many
towards-
Chelsea fans have we got in the room?
Yeah.
There's a few of you, yeah?
Oh,
How many 49ers fans have we got?
Yeah!
All right.
Do this in London, it might be different.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit different if we did this in London, we're just saying.
Oh, you made Maddie sad. Let's do it again. How many Chelsea fans we got in the room?
Come on, make some noise!
I sell jerseys, $49.99. Meet me outside. Security, take that man out, please.
1.5 minutes left, everybody. Okay? 1.5.
Oh, wow, we got some joint action on there. So it looks like an omnidirectional ball launcher.
Is it Omni Wheel?
I think they're inspired by Big Hero 6, the movie.
It's got some Big Hero 6 vibes going on. Yeah.
Great movie.
I mean, there's something kind of terrifying about a smiling face launching a ball as fast as
I
possible.
love it.
to you as well.
I love it. You gotta have some personality, man.
And
Wow,
no remorse
that's
when it knocks someone's teeth out.
Amazing how it's moving, what Shoko just did. You missed it, but look, it's shooting out the
wow.
ball.
Set up a
telescoping.
full set
Nice
of joints
feature.
and limits. That's
Drink
very
it,
impressive.
drink it. 45 seconds, okay? Very last minute.
Home stretch.
Rendering time.
It's rendering time.
Okay, 30 seconds. And maybe Yoshi,
And don't forget, we are going to count down from 10 together. And we're going to call you out if you aren't joining in. Just saying.
15 more seconds. All right, it's coming.
It's coming up. Let's get those renders going. You look
10,
great.
9, 8,
7, 6,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it! Yay! Ooh, you made the rendering. Amazing.
Yuji,
Okay.
you've never looked so good.
I know. Okay, let's start from that side. You know, maybe.
All right. So, student ambassadors, tell us what you've made.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to check you still love sushi.
I love sushi.
Great.
Hello, Las Vegas. Hi, everyone. So we're Shoko and Melissa. We're AU's first ever female design team, and we've made Kemari. This is our robot that aids soccer and football players. She has a shooting mechanism, as you probably noticed, so she can help the players play goalie practice and do catching practice for football. She also can hold up to 4 balls at a time, and the ball joint and slider mechanism allows her to have a wide range of shooting. That also makes her a good free kick practice mannequin, because she has adjustable heights from 3 feet to 6 feet, making it suitable for all ages. Now, her sturdy wheels also make her able to be a weighted sled for strength training, and you're probably wondering why there's a face. So she has different emotions that connect to wearable devices on the team, and she gives live feedback through speakers and the emotions that you can see, ranging from happy to angry. And that's our design. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. That is really cool. All right, let's hear from our expert elites.
So our design was inspired by the San Francisco 49ers and by Marvel. So what do you get when you combine these two characters? You get Tony Montana. That's the name of the robot. Trumpet.
That's Tony Montana.
So a few details about the robot. You know, we have 2 flywheels in here so that the robot can throw balls at you. but there's also some bumpers, all along the body so that you can also, attack the robot. So we were thinking about either, offensive or defensive, plays. This would also work very well for soccer. If you substitute the balls, throwing at a goalkeeper or making the robot be a goalkeeper itself. And just an interesting fact, the body, all of the mechanical parts are more around 800 bodies, and all of the organic parts were done on site without any sketches, all in sculpt. So thank you.
Woo! Amazing.
Thank you.
I'm saying this again, but it's super amazing that people never even made this in 20 minutes.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. All right, let's come to the professional team. So Bryce, Yoshin, how was it? Good? Yeah, good. All right, so let's talk about the project, especially the white one.
Oh, where do I begin? I really want to demonstrate how to uninstall and install Fusion. So I wanted to make sure you guys were all there. This was a little bit inspired by generative design. The arm rail, as you could see, spit out in under 20 minutes. We got some results. As well, we thought you'd need a little workout, so put you on the treadmill.
Thank you so much.
Shots fired.
Yeah, I've been here in the past 10 years. Yeah, I've been a little bit stubborn, but all right, so we're gonna make noise, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so it's voting time. You're gonna vote with your throats in your hands. That sounded weird. All right.
So, how should we do it? Should we start from this side, that side?
Let's start from that side.
All right.
All right.
So, professionals, right? Four professionals. All right.
Make some noise if you're into the professionals.
Yeah, let's cheer first. All right. Okay, so now we begin, right?
I don't think they're gonna win it with that one. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So let's do it again. All right. For professional, count 1, 2, 3. Make some noise. Okay. All right. So count 1, 2, 3. Noise. Okay, great.
All right.
Good job. All right, good job. Yeah, I'm kind of dry. I know. I got some criticism. So. All right, so let's do it. Yeah.
All right, so for our expert elites, on 3, make some noise. 1, 2, 3.
No. That was big.
That was big. That was big. All right, and lastly, but definitely not least, for our student ambassadors, make some noise on 3. 1, 2, 3.
No!
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I feel like I'm sports player right now. I feel like I'm a star right now.
You are a star, Yuji.
Yeah, that was, thank you.
You are a star.
Arigato.
You're very
amazing. So I guess it was kind of clear to
I think it's pretty clear
us,
to all of us who won that, right?
Yeah, I think clearly the treadmill won. So thanks guys.
Great innovation. I think we just got to say to here, having seen our own children back in London learn Fusion and start to build stadiums from scratch at 9, 10, 11 years old, I really hope they pursue this skill set to follow, like Andrew spoke to yesterday, about skills for the 21st century and become like these young people here. It's blown me away, and I have to say the blue robot has won my heart, with those eyes especially. That was remarkable.
Me too.
All right.
All right. Well, congratulations to our student ambassadors. You have won the Fusion 360 Design Slam.
Congratulations. Woo. Get there. One by one, probably.
There you go. Thank you. There you go.
Amazing
above
job.
Your heads. Above your heads.
Yeah!
Well done!
Too heavy?
Okay, guys, give it up one more time, please, for all the competitors for the Fusion 360 Design Slam! And for Paul and Eugene!
Thank you!
Thank you so much!
Big thank you as well, Jesse from the 49ers and Matt from Chelsea Football Club. I know what you're thinking. If it wasn't for the accent, you'd have thought Jesse and I were twins. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the Rock the Stadium Design Slam. We just want to say one final thank you to our sponsors, for Zebra and HP. A huge thank you to everybody here for coming along and supporting us this evening. Thank you very much. And a big thank you to all the competitors of all 3 Design Slams this evening and all the MCs. But it hasn't finished yet, because we are about to go into the Play Hard Mixer. And you may have wondered why I've got this lovely flashy band on my arm. And a few people have. Björn has it here. So it's an opportunity for everybody now to meet the 26 incredible student ambassadors that are here at Autodesk University. The plan is you get an opportunity to go and discuss a little bit about what they've done, have a look at some of their projects, and you will be given these flashy bands. And if you go and get some of these flashy bands, and then please have a selfie with one of the student experts, that would be fantastic, using the hashtags AU2018 and hashtag Autodesk Education. If you can then show your picture to Monica and Bjorn, you'll get one of these lovely flashy bands. So please take the opportunity to meet the student ambassadors, get some photographs, share it on social media, and get yourself a band. And please enjoy the rest of the evening and enjoy the rest of your time at AU 2018. And we look forward to seeing you the same time next year for the next Design Slam. Good night, everybody.